everybody, and welcome in. Upon much reflection from the NFL and with a lot of talks with Roger Goodell, I'd like to welcome you into the first ever Washington Hangover live stream podcast episode. As always, Nick and Collin here with you. Collin, what's going on, man?
What up, brother? Here we are. Washington Hangover, just painting over words, plowing through the old history.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You can't erase history. You can just draw all over it.
With a permanent marker. There you go. Huh?
Digitally, yeah.
There's a lot of metaphors in there.
Hey, I like the new logo.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the $20,000 tag was a bit much, but what can you do?
I mean, all the sponsorships we got going right now, whatever.
Sure.
Who cares?
Quick shout out to Justine on Twitter. Manscaped was having looking for a new podcast to sponsor, and Justine gave us a second shout out for that.
Nice,
yeah,
Justine.
Who doesn't like talking about tools that help enhance the male physique?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
we can do that. Absolutely,
we do that. I'm sure you got down in there earlier when you wake up. You take a pee, you take a shave, you're ready for work.
Yeah. Bill Burr, right? Doesn't he he's got like the Manscaped ads? He's always...
What's up, everybody? It's Bill Burr, and it's the weekday Monday morning podcast. Weekday Monday morning podcast.
The Dollar Shave Club. I used the Dollar Shave Club because of Bill Burr.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you use his code?
I'm still using it, yeah.
Yeah?
Billy
You're still
Red
using
Balls
the code?
30. No, I think the code wears out. Anyway, guys, what's up? We got some Redskins news for you today. I mean, Washington
there you go.
Football team news. It's going to be like that all year. It's going to be like that all life, right?
I was warming up for this podcast today, and I was like, hey, everybody, welcome into the Redskins Hangover. That's not what we say anymore.
Brutal.
It's not what we say, Nick.
Brutal. Can't say it. Don't say it.
But I was listening. Scott Van Pelt's going to do the same thing. It's what you've known your whole life.
Yeah, especially Scott. Scott's a Washington fan. He's from the D.C. area.
Mm-hmm.
Big Terps guy. I'm sure many broadcasters will say Redskins. And you know what? It won't be the worst slip of a broadcaster. You hear that one the other day from the Reds announcer?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
And then the Tom Brenneman, did you see that one?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, where he goes, this is blank city or a capital of the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he even talking? It was like he was talking to himself?
Yeah.
It's like a friggin' gay capital of the world or something. Like, was he like just having Tourette's? What's going on?
He didn't have his morning poop, Collin. Judging from your face, I can already discern he didn't have his morning crap.
That's freaking gay capital, gay people.
So then there's just shit coming out of his face. That's what happens.
Hi, I'm Tom Brenneman. I guess I said some things that went out on the air. And I'm deeply, deeply apologetic about it. Well, I don't know if I'm ever putting these on again. That's what he said. And then he said, I'm very, very sorry. I hope you can forgive me. So-and-so is going to take over now. And they just kicked his ass off in the middle of the game. That cracked me up, man. They were like, well, you can apologize and then get the hell out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that guy's also the guy coming in, even if he's feeling nervous or whatever, he's like, well, shit, I can't do worse than the last guy, right?
Right.
As long as I don't make homophobic comments, I'm pretty good here. I'm all right.
As long as I don't say Redskins, I'll be okay. All right, so a lot of news this week. It seems like the news never ends for our organization, be it good or bad. Generally negative. A real positive thing. It certainly seems really positive. Jason Wright has been hired as the first black team president in NFL history for the Washington football team. It's hard to argue, man. I've listened to him. He just sounds like a pretty awesome, put-together dude. Played in the league for 7 years after being an undrafted free agent. He graduated from Northwestern, got his MBA in business, I believe, at the University of Chicago. I mean, he just seems like an awesome dude for the job, and it's hard to be mad at that hire. You know, he really seems like a great focal point to get this organization rolling. How you feeling about Jason? I know there's been a little bit of controversy in terms of, well, what the hell's Dan's motive? There's always, question with that, understandably.
We can get into that a little later on.
All right.
We can play some hypotheticals maybe of what's happened in Snyder's office.
But how are you feeling?
Not in a, not in a
how you
defamatory
feeling
way, right?
Personally.
Don't come at me, Joe Tacopina. I'm not ready for that.
But Nick, how are you feeling personally about the hire of Jason? Have you been able to let go some of the context of all the, what a historic moment. They're doing right. There's a lot of political juju being jammed down our throats to try to make us maybe feel a certain way, one way or the other, but it's the right hire, in my opinion, and it's been far too long that an African American, I mean, never in the league has an African American been a team president of an NFL football team, and that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm proud of the organization for taking that move. How are you feeling about Jason?
First off, I hope he gets the opportunity to answer that awkward question like Doug Williams answered it. When we win a Super Bowl, what's it like to be the first black president to win the Super Bowl with your organization? I hope he gets to quote kind of Doug there a little bit. Look, it's a great hire. Let's perspective, everybody. I don't give a shit what you think about him. Unless you are maybe the 1 or 2% of this country, you don't fully know the credentials of what this man has gone through, right? I certainly don't know what the prestige is from Masters Business Association, programs and stuff like that. He's qualified to do it, and the perspective is he's not Bruce Allen, right? Let's not forget, this is a guy that has played in the game, that has been in Washington working for the last 7 years for a pretty high up, business consulting. It's a great hire, and it also clarifies for me the roles. It seems like Jason has a very clearly defined role in this organization, and it seems like Ron Rivera still holds the deck, He's still in charge of it. So that was exciting to see. Jason's not going to try – there's not going to be a power struggle, right? There's already kind of a built-in seniority, I think, with just age and experience. I think they're going to have a really inviting, collaborative environment. Hopefully, Dan can feel at ease, feel that he made the right choice, even if Roger Goodell pushed him to it a little bit, and that he can take a step back and get out of his own way. I think that would be a great plus for Dan Snyder with this Jason hiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I just like him. I like the guy, I like his attitude. He's got a jovialness about him. He's got experience on the field. He can relate to the players. He's in touch. He's in tune with the NFL. He's been there.
Was he a third down back? Is that what he did at Northwestern?
I don't know. Did he? Was he?
I think he was a running back at Northwestern. Let me go ahead and look it up. Yeah. So you like him though, and that's because of just some of the stuff you've seen. I know there was a lot of criticism around the league. That this was a affirmative action choice. That it was based. Yeah.
I mean, right. It's hard to argue that that's not a part of this move because of the history that our organization has and with Dan Snyder. Um, but at the same time, when you remove all those layers, he's the most qualified for the job. He really is. I can't think of a better candidate besides him. So, you know, I think he speaks for himself, and I think he'll prove that. Um, but yeah, a part of creating a new culture from an organization that's just been in an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah.
Uh, a part of it is bringing in diversity because you haven't done that, and you got to do that. You got to make those moves. Um, we brought in a few people, right? Um, we hired a woman, um, Julie.
Executive VP communication. Yeah, yeah. Also,
Yeah,
the first, I think, game day female broadcaster, permanent female broadcaster as
yeah.
well.
So,
Um,
I mean, these are things that are great, like if you want to say it's politically charged or if it's phony, you can say that, and I can't really sit here and dispute that and say Dan Snyder's motives are always pure and he's doing the right thing. But you know what? The actions, they're speaking louder than the words right now.
Well, and maybe here's a theory that was floated out, I heard about on the Kevin Sheehan podcast, is that Tanya Snyder has become a bit more involved in these decisions.
Yeah.
Jason, in some of his interviews, talked about how Tanya was an integral part in the hiring process. And we know that Dan Snyder's out there in the south of France on his yacht, because of the pandemic. He's spending a lot of time with Tanya and his wait staff. But truly, Tanya is probably, without a doubt, Dan's better half, right? And if she's starting to have more influence, more decision-making ability, that can only spell good things. From a PR standpoint, I'm sure they got in and be like, Dan, your image looks like shit, okay? We need somebody that's almost pure compared to you. Oh, well, what about my wife? She leads the breast cancer and Women of Washington and all this stuff. Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm all for these changes. Let's do it. Hey, I got a clip of Jason Wright speaking to Michael Strahan. If you guys want to hear that, get to know Jason a little, some of his humorous side here. All right, I'm gonna pull this clip up. Oh boy, just doesn't wanna work now. Oh, that's convenient.
Uh-oh. Cue to the B-roll.
Yeah, what is going on here?
You do have to, while we're waiting for this, I do think it is entirely okay that people question why Jason Wright took this position. I think that's a fair question to ask.
Absolutely. I mean, the poor bastard,
Yeah.
like it could be rough.
Yeah, it's just like one bad thing after another. When you brought it up in the show, beginning of the show, it's like always news around this Washington football team. I don't hear any of the chatter as much as I do about our team. Maybe that's just me.
You don't hear as much chatter about what?
Just the side stories that happen, I mean, the defamation, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Yeah. That lawsuit is wild, Collin. It's daytime television stuff.
Yeah. Nick, while I'm looking for this video, can you give our audience just a little clarification on what exactly the defamation is? Because I saw some comments yesterday. People were confused that they thought this was about the name change, which it's not.
Right. No, this has to do with kind of the defamation of Dan Snyder and his character. So during the time that sexual harassment allegation by the Washington Post article was coming out, There were a lot of crazy rumors swirling about with Dan Snyder, kind of really trying to get him caught up in some scandal, some controversy. And many fans talked about, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what's going to do Dan Snyder in and force him to sell the team. But one of those that came out was linking Dan Snyder to Jeffrey Epstein, which is essentially the biggest four-letter word that you can commit on somebody. It was published by an India media company. And that's kind of where a lot of people ended the look of it. But Dan Snyder hired a big shot lawyer from Brooklyn, Joe Tacopina. And what they looked at was a previous disgruntled Washington employee. Her name is Mary Ellen Blair. Mary Ellen Blair is one of the characters here. Supposedly, allegedly, they have right now 30 days to lead a discovery investigation by law with this India media company to disclose who its sources were for this report linking Dan Snyder to Jeffrey Epstein. One of the links, potentially, allegedly, is with Mary Ellen Blair, who also links back to a company that links back to one of the minority owners, Dwight Scharre. His daughter works for Comstock, and that's who's linked potentially to bribing or trying to elicit these confessions or any sort of dirt on Dan Snyder. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If it's true, if they can link it up to a minority owner, in this sort of potential coup against Dan Snyder, we're probably going to be watching this TV series on HBO in a couple years.
It's a lot, man. It's just a lot, huh? Like who do you believe in this situation? Because, I mean, like we talked about last time, the one thing that we can always agree on is that Dan Snyder, we don't care for him. We don't trust him. We don't believe in him as fans of this organization. So it's hard to get on his side here. When you hear minority owners are, not minorities, but the minority ownership is trying to get him to sell, I mean, it's kind of exciting, right? It's like, oh, we might actually have some hope and potential to get out of this doomsday event. But now if you hear that, they're just making up insane stories about him, that's not any better.
I will tell you, if you strip away their billions and you strip away the suits and you think about them in a sandbox, it's these little children, and one of them tried to take the other one's toy, and now maybe is, he pushed me.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's exactly what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. It's just trying to put this blame on the other. And I mean, Danny's going to fight till the end.
Danny, you and him on a real chummy basis.
I mean,
no one calls me Danny. No one.
25 years. So for some reason, our clip doesn't want to play. So I'm seeing if I can pull it up via the YouTube real quick. It's such a great little clip. I don't know why it ain't working. So what is your take on this defamation in terms of, like, who do you believe? Or are you just sitting back like you're watching Jerry Springer here?
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, to see it potentially unfold could be really, really fun. Apparently, this Joe Tacopina guy, I don't know anything about him. I got it from old Tommy on the Kevin Sheehan pod. But I guess he's gotten, tried to get in fights with people in court and is just known as a bulldog. It's very interesting. We'll see. It's going to be a story under the radar, but it has the potential for such juicy nuggets, to invite, and not only Dwight Scharre, but entirely his entire family and their company and, a fortune.
Yeah.
It could be a really nice midday soap opera. We'll see how it goes.
It's certainly leaning that way. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm pulling up this clip on YouTube right here. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jason.
You want to make even more news this morning by telling us what the new name will be? If not, when can we expect to learn what the new name will be?
Now I know what y'all are thinking. You hired a brother, and all of a sudden the betting money's on Red Tails. It's not. It's not. Right? It's not. In truth, what we're actually doing is much more than a new name. It's actually a new identity.
All right, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm sorry.
All right, but you think Jason's a good guy.
What happened here?
You want to make even more news this morning by telling us what the new name will be?
It's all over the
if not...
All right, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell happened.
All right, let's move along, Collin.
We're moving on.
Moving on.
Anyway, Jason, in this video, guys, you can look it up. It's on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan, and basically,
are you calling him Ham?
Michael Strahan.
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 H-A-N. Yeah.
It's not an M.
I don't think it's an
I thought
M.
it was an M.
Oh gosh.
Michael Strahan. No, it's Han. You're right.
How? Yeah.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today.
I know he's got some chompers, but you called him Strahan.
He does
before,
got some chompers.
and I was like,
Michael Strahan.
Right. Yeah.
Michael
Okay.
Ham.
Michael Strahan baloney.
Michael Strahan on Good Morning America. he asks Jason a few questions, and he says, if you want to tell us any more good news today about maybe what the name is. And then Jason Wright responds. He says, I get it. You hire a brother, and all of a sudden all the betting money is on Red Tails. I understand. I thought that was pretty funny, just to have that kind of awareness. And he was like, it's not. So he did say it's not. We'll see. I know you like the Red Tails, Nick, but
I do.
Seems like the fans are really pulling for the Red Wolves.
Look, I just think it's I know we get into this all the time. I'm not a Red Wolves person, okay? And it is in Arkansas State. By the way, I looked that up. It is a university's team. The Red Wolves, you know?
Yeah.
We got to be original. We can't be somebody else's team name. That's why I'm also not a Warriors fan. We can't compete with Stephen Curry and the Warriors. That's just not going to work out for us.
No.
We got to do something original. You know, I got to give a shout out to something. The Ramparts. And I know that's a crazy, crazy sounding name. But, you know, and the Ramparts, red glare, the bombs bursting in air. I think, you know, the stadium could be the red glare. You know, you still have that red. It's not at all related to it. You have the R on top of the Ramparts. You know, you think of a fortress. You think of a stadium, something sturdy, something that could really punch you in the teeth. You're going to run into a brick wall when you play the Washington Ramparts.
You're not satisfied with team? That doesn't do it for you?
Has it grown on you? Is that what you're saying?
Team. It's easy to remember. I root for team. Who are you a fan of? Team.
Team. It is simple.
What team? Team.
Mm-hmm.
The team.
I mean, at that point, should we just be the Washington Red team? You know? Let's go back to the playground entirely. Let's just be the red team. You know?
Can you imagine, like, Dan Snyder's life right now? Like, are these the type of questions, like, he's just getting all day long, like, you know, from his secretary? Dan, I was wondering if you could answer a couple questions. I don't want to hear it. No more about the name. Yeah, but Dan, they want to know if you just want to settle on team, or, you know, you want to be a football team, or what.
Well, that's what we are, right? If that's what we are, then that's what we are. We're in Washington football team, Dolores. Please.
Leave me alone. Unless, you know, someone has cancer, I don't want to hear about it. Actually, Dan, Um,
Well, we got to go into it now. If things couldn't get worse in Washington, Ron has cancer. He's got cancer. It's skin cancer. Found and detected early. Treatable. Get yourself checked if you're feeling any unusual lumps. But hey, he's going to coach through it. And that's the type of strength and character and leadership that Ron Rivera brings to anything. I saw something, that Ron Rivera maybe should step back and worry about his health and take a year away from the Washington team. Are you kidding me? Now is the time for the most growth of this team, and Ron Rivera is the person that has to be working, right? He doesn't take days off.
No. I can't see him, sitting at home, wearing a pair of slippers with his feet up, drinking some tea, recovering. I mean, if you saw any clips from yesterday, it's a different team out at Washington football team park. He had a fire lit yesterday. He was up in people. He was on one. He was directing the flow of traffic. I mean, he had a handle on the scene. He knew where it was going. There's no backing down from him. It seems like they caught this very early. He doesn't seem all that concerned, Nick. Plan B is Jack Del Rio if Ron needs to take off. He said he might start feeling it, the treatment, by week 3 or 4. And there is a possibility that he will need to take some time off. He might not be ready for what it brings. But luckily, it seems like they caught this fairly early. And I don't get a whole lot of concern. But Jesus Christ, 2020, can you back the hell off for a second? Like, what is going on with this year? It's brutal. Yeah. I feel bad for the guy and his family. And obviously, we're fans of the direction Ron's taking the team in. And I sincerely hope he's healthy.
Yeah. Well, and I hope he gets healthy. Obviously, thoughts and positive feelings and prayers to the Ron Rivera family. I think this is going to be one more layer to the complexity of Ron Rivera in the length of his story. Yeah. One more way that he could inspire others would be to, go through a disease and come out on top. I mean, Good Lord, the man has quite an accomplished, colored background there. This is just going to be one more feather in his cap for him to reach even more people, and positively influence, those around him, his community. I wish him the best. I fully believe in him. We're both Ron believers. I think he'll come out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this organization fighting. Alex Smith, I don't know if you guys saw that video, but his family showered him with some champagne when he was cleared to return to football activities, and he almost twisted his ankle. He almost rolled his ankle. I don't know, they freezed it on his ankle. It was totally sideways. Can you imagine that? He just ruptures his Achilles. He pulls a D'Angelo Hall, and he's just out. It was frightening.
I don't know what it's called, but he doesn't have full mobility in that part of his foot. So he actually has a special wedge in his foot support that helps him with that movement. Yeah, it's fascinating from his treatment, from all of his surgeries. He still doesn't have that mobility, so that's why it looks so awkward as well.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I will say he went up he's now on 7-on-7 and progressed to 9-on-9 in training camp. I saw some videos of him rolling out to his right. Looked like a spry MFer, Wow. Really remarkable.
Nuts.
It really is. Yeah.
Nuts, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy that there's some of this positive news in the organization as well,
Yeah.
I'm sure Snyder's happy to get some of that every now and then,
He's probably got 2 phones, I imagine. At this stage in his 20 years, he's probably got like a phone for good news and a phone for bad news, And he only turns on the bad news like once an hour, an hour a day. Because that thing has been ringing off the hook.
I feel like Jason Wright's phone is gonna be ringing off the hook lately. I feel like they made that hire, and like God bless your soul. Jason Wright. I feel like this job is gonna drive him insane. I feel like it's gonna, like, he doesn't know what's coming. This organization chews people up and spits them out. Gruden was, last seen in the gutter pretty much, towards the end of the run. I feel like Dan, now that he's made this hire, like, all is good, right? All is good now for Dan, right? Well, we hired a black guy, He's the authority on everything, Like, any cultural issue, I feel like he's gonna be like, I don't know. Ask Jason.
Jason.
Let's ask Jason. Where's the phone? Let me call Jason.
I think in this world, it's almost though like Dan Snyder was like, okay, nobody likes me. Everybody says I've been doing it wrong. Well, you know what? I'm going to flip everything on its head. That's right. We're hiring a woman. That's right. That's right. She's going to be in charge of talking. How about that, everybody? Isn't that crazy? Radical. I'm radical right now. And black president. We had a black quarterback. Why not have a black president? We need diversity. Black lives matter, after all. I care.
It's like George Costanza here. He's doing the opposite of George. If everything I do is wrong, then why don't I do the opposite? I feel like, yeah, that's what's going to happen, right? Like, but I feel like Jason's going to just be overwhelmed with everything, every little issue, like, all right, guys, let's get coffee for the morning. Maybe we should do coffee from a black business. Jason, do you know any coffee owners? Jason? Like, he's just going to be, like, driving him nuts, like he's going to want to drive off a cliff by the end of this.
We need a fruit basket for Ron, everybody. Thought we'd support some black businesses in the local area. I haven't been to one yet. So, has anybody been here? Jason, have you been to any? Yeah, have you? You have? Hey, Jason's got one. Ask Jason, Dolores. Let's get him a big one. Big fruit basket. And tip him nice. Let's tip him. We tip now. We're tippers.
That's good, right? Right? That's what we should be doing. Jason?
Yeah. Julie? Huh? Say that in a better way for me. Ask Jason. Okay.
Jason. Yeah, it's gonna be nonstop. I feel like the poor guy doesn't know what's coming,
He's gotta know. He's a smart guy. I think he knows exactly what he's getting into. I think he's got the backing of Roger Goodell and the NFL because they're trying to really progress some things forward. Good for them. I'm all for it. And I think at the end of the day, Jason there's no bottom below, like he is at the bottom, right? He can't do worse than the past 20 years.
No.
So anything he does is an improvement. Yeah. It's why Ron took the job, right? Anything was going to be better than what we had.
Right. But it's already given him cancer, Nick. It's been 1 month. We're not even on the field. He's already got cancer. This job is killing him. Do you think that's another concern from Dan Snyder? Oh my God. This year could it get any worse? I need all my lawyers on this. He's going to sue. We gave him cancer.
I will say workplace stress is a real thing. I know we're making fun of that, but if you are, you got to take care of yourself. I can't imagine this Washington job made Ron's life feel lighter, right? He didn't come in after the sexual harassment allegations and be like, yeah, I'm going to make an omelet for dinner for me and my wife.
Yeah, one thing after another. Total reboot of the organization. Yeah. So. But he knew he was in for a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of challenges.
There's that.
Yeah. I will say, quick little thing about training camp. It's been going on for a little while. They now have a couple padded practices under their belt. Running back position has been fun to watch, apparently, from reports out of the bubble. Bryce Love has been looking really nice. Obviously, another comeback player coming off of that injury. Hasn't yet played an NFL game, so this is really his redshirt freshman year. It'll be exciting to see him. He's got some burst. They also like Gibson, the rookie draft prospect. Apparently, he's been slicing and dicing out of the backfield. So
good hands, too.
Apparently, the O-line looks like shit, but maybe that's because our D-line looks so great.
Hey.
Silver lining, hopefully.
No one's believing that. We already know the O-line is
hot
garbage.
NBC Sports Washington, from all of our previous Redskin fans that are Washington football fans, we don't give a shit about Trent Williams. We don't care how he's doing with his new team and his new life on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, why do they keep bringing him up?
They love him.
What is going on with that?
I wonder if he still has interviews, Like if he's still got 2 guaranteed interviews that he's committed to do. They're like, well, shit, we got to keep a thread line with him because we got to interview him halfway through the year.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Yeah. They got a crush on old Trent, 71. Yeah, and people have been coming back at that, right? Fans?
Yeah.
Saying, like, stop bringing him up. Can we move on?
You said it, Collin. It's like the ex that you keep thinking about, keep trying to visit. Driving by their house. It's a little bit creepy, a little bit weird, and a lot of bit sad.
Yeah, I don't want to remember those things. Burn those letters, Throw the pictures out the window. Into the gutter. Down with Jay. I don't want to remember that stuff.
Rip up that IOU $2,000 letter she wrote you. Huh?
Yeah.
You're never going to see that.
No.
Happened to a friend of mine.
That's a lot of dough. Jason! Jason, I've got a little task for you. Do you know what I do here?
All right. I hope Jason gets the stadium deal done, huh? Wouldn't that be quite the accomplishment? Bruce Allen can't get it done because he's a slimy, nasty snake. Jason comes in, unproven, just hammers it home, just nails it.
Yeah.
I hope they get RFK because of Jason. Ask Jason. He'll get it for you.
Man, that would be awesome. That would be rocking. He said the uniform's already looking pretty clean, so there might not have to be too much of an update there. Yeah. So
Bowser, Jason, let's get together. Huh? Make it happen.
All right, guys. I think that's about it. Anything else for you, Nick? Yeah.
That's all I got. You're going on a little trip.
I'm going on a little road trip in about 30 minutes. I gotta pack the car, get out of here. I'm gonna go see my mom. We had plans this weekend to go meet up. There's fire tornadoes happening though, where we were supposed to go up in Tahoe. So we're not going there. Could the year get any crazier? Fire tornadoes. I didn't even know that was possible.
It most certainly will get crazier. I don't know. If 2020 has taught me anything, I mean, we've got an election coming up. We've still got 4 months left to go.
Yeah.
It is going to get... I stopped saying, can it get? And I'll just say, what's going to happen next?
Yep.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Usually my bathtub by myself. Just rocking with my aluminum foil hat.
You're doing the Brenneman.
Ask Jason. Ask Jason. Jason knows. When's the pandemic ending? Ask Jason.
Gay people.
Oh, no.
I'm deeply sorry. All right, you guys, watch your goddamn language. Keep your racist, homophobic thoughts to yourselves. Don't say them in public. And think about why you're saying that crazy shit in the first place. And enjoy your week. I'm sure we'll have plenty of more crazy news from the Washington football team soon to come. For Collin Shoot in LA, Nick Webster in New York City. catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining in. All right.
3 weeks till football.
Now that is bizarre.